Call the meeting to order at 6 p.m. Public forum, none. Administrative reports, elementary principal reports, junior high school principal reports, assistant superintendent reports, and the superintendent report.
For elementary, we have 162 students. As of yesterday, we have two new students move into the district, second grade and third grade. Second grade classes taking a lot more. We finished our beginning of the year assessments finally, and for pre-K and kinder, we flagged 3 students for vocabulary and 2 for math, and so 5 pre-K students are in intervention right now, and then in kindergarten, and we flagged 2 students for kindergarten readiness. And then we placed 1 student in intervention based on other observations and assessments. All of our first through 5th grade students finished their math testing. Met with teachers this week, and we have placed several students in intervention from first to 5th grade. So we've got that going. Our PTO meeting, the first meeting is going to be Monday, 22nd at 3:45 in the gather room. Yeah, and the officers and PTOs. So hoping a lot of parents will come to meet the new officers. They have some good ideas and looking for some volunteers. So that's Monday. We have our Hornet Pride rally coming up sooner than later on October the 3rd. Student government is sponsoring the Hornet Pride School Spirit Day, so the kids are going to dress blue belt that day, so that'll be fun. Sky Ranch parent meeting is going to be October 13th. So we'll start planning for that for 5th grade. And then Miss Freeman has a character education program planned for Halloween Day. Ned's Resilience Ride. I think it's a yo-yo type program. What we talk about. Right, character and resilience. That's about all I have.
RN, junior high, we have 61. High school, we have 94. We had 2 junior high kids in the district. Yesterday we had our Grayson Senior Day. We took our seniors over to campus and we did that. So we made sure for our kids. Really proud of our kids. We were in the hospitality room. There was a worker that had to come in like 4 different times for 2 different schools. He had some issues and our kids were doing what they were supposed to do. So it's kind of nice to see that we deal with that. Next week we have a welding competition Tuesday at Bonham. Obviously, the county fair is approaching here in a couple of weeks as well. Just like Miss Munger, we got all of our math testing and hair testing done. Exception of band, but we're having some hiccups there. We're working through that. On the athletic side of things, volleyball, cross country, baseball, everything's really in full swing and going well. All teams are competing pretty good. And for us, volleyball district starts with volleyball on Tuesday of fall break. So some other dates, I think you guys know a week from this Saturday we have the gala here at 6 p.m. Fall break for everybody is October 6th through the 10th. Our Halloween dance 5th through 8th grade is Thursday, October 23rd, and then fall festival is that Friday.
Do you want me to go ahead and go? So this is audit season for us, and around people are a little tense or a little edgy. The time's gonna fly on this first semester. We had our initial call for our sped audit today. And a lot of work until, thank goodness, most of it the co-op does for us. We're in partnership with them as far as submitting the records, but most of the things they have to actually pull and submit for us. That's basically we start submitting stuff October. Well, we actually start tomorrow if we want. But that goes through December. And then our district vulnerability audit, I started uploading information for it this past week, and there is a ton of information that they want for that as well. And then we're supposed to have a call later this month or early October for the cafeteria audit, and it will actually take place in January. So hopefully by February, we've done all the audits out of the way with good results. Next week on Monday and Tuesday, our financial auditor will be here, and so at the end of the day, Tuesday, we'll know how 24-25 went. So legislation it just kind of keeps on rolling. They're still clarifying. And, this last session was a huge session with a ton of things that affect public schools, and it's kind of ever changing right now. Just trying to keep up. There is one bill that it's kind of hidden through the session that they come out with, the Senate Bill 546. It's the bus seatbelt law, and every bus has to be equipped with a 3-point seatbelt. And I think it was for us, most of our buses are brand new or fairly new. We do have one in 2009, a reliable out there, that doesn't have seatbelts. And so we're just waiting. Originally, they had a clause if it was before a certain date, you didn't have to retrofit them, but they took that out. And so they want every bus to have seatbelts. So we'll have to look at that, look at the cost, and see if it's worth doing it or just getting it. But it's kind of a hot topic right now. There's supposed to be a couple of webinars in the next couple of weeks with what they learn there. I don't know what it costs that seatbelts to us. I really don't know. The district improvement plan, I sent an email today to all you guys that have that in there. It's a work in progress right now. We'll have our committee meeting on October 2nd, and that's when the committee will approve it. And then it comes to you guys in the October board meeting for approval. But go ahead and start looking at that now. And that way, if you have questions, concerns, you can get with us ahead of time. We work together on that. There are some things that I'm not putting in the email, but we haven't updated the STAR results in there just yet, but the goals and all that stuff has been updated. And then next Thursday, we have our board training over the legislation. So, and guys, I watched the webinar, and you know how much I talk about the legislation. I watched the webinar today for 2.5 hours over it. They could have gone for 5 easy. That's how much stuff is in there. So we'll hear it again next Thursday. It's at Tom Bean. The food starts at 5, the meeting starts at 6. But Julie, you're gonna meet us there. Will, you were talking about meeting us there. You know where Tom Bean High School is? It's pretty easy. It's right there on Highway 11. It's easy to find. It'll be in the cafeteria. Now, the rest of you guys, what time would you guys like to leave here? We'll take the new van. What time would y'all like to leave here? It takes about an hour, a little less than an hour to get there. The food starts at 5? Yes, sir.
I mean, you up for it?
Usually I have time, but I'm not.
What time can you get out there?
Obviously, I thought there. But that doesn't mean they're like, right.
We'll save you some food. Make sure that so you'll meet us there. Okay, what about you? What time y'all? 4:15? Y'all shall leave about 4:15 from here? In the van? Does that work? You gonna be in front of the line? We leave before. We were, I was telling Julie the story about Ben. We had a superintendent meeting, Grayson County Superintendent, they fed us breakfast, and we had to like, hey, it's like everybody's sitting around. And they said, all right, buffet's open. So I'll go first. I've always been a leader. So 4 or 5, you don't plan on leaving at 4? We'll plan on leaving at 4. Then if something happens where we need to wait a little bit, we can. And so that's kind of where it's all about audits and legislation, right? The superintendent side. Mr. Rizzo, I'm good.
I'm going to go pretty much the whole end of the high school and bring it about.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Here, though, for all the
Discuss and take appropriate action on consent agenda items as follows: minutes of the regular meeting held August 21st of 45, financial statements for August, checks for the month of August, additions to the sub list.
We have 2 additions to the sub list. Everyone's gonna remember that. Krista Buhit and Dale Max. She's a Bubbleberg friend. That's all I. The other one I'm not, I don't need to make sure. Those are the two. Any questions about the checks or anything? That's in the board packet. So here we rolled into our new budget. So this is the first statement. This is the things that we've gotten paid out through September the 17th. As you can see there, we've got little or no revenue, which is not uncommon. And can't remember if we talked about this, but I think we did maybe that we've moved payment classes with TEA. So we'll get a larger payment here in September. We're expecting that, but they still haven't listed that out, so they could change us back to pay class 1, which is basically 10 months out of the year. But if not, we'll get a large payment in September, and then we won't get any payments during tax time. So none of that revenue's come in yet. So not much to say there. If you go down to the expenditures, payroll has been posted for the month. Our first payroll of the year goes out tomorrow, so that's already been posted there. And instruction, as you can see, that's a large chunk of our payroll in function 11. Going down through there, everything else is pretty much payroll. Some things that are may look a little bit peculiar to you. 41 is a little larger because that's where all of our organizational fees fall. Whatever that our school is membership with, ASB, ASBO, all of those organizations come out of 41. And in 51, we encumber the utility costs at the start of the year. So that's why that is large, so that we're certain that we have all the money set aside to pay our utilities bill when we have to turn the lights on. So that's why that's a bit larger, so that is an encumbered cost there, not an actual expenditure on that line. Made our payments to the SSA. We talked about that some last time about moving to sync charges. Has that increased, Mr. Martin? I haven't followed that.
I would say the same.
Say the same. We had W1 kids at the front. So any questions about the general operating here? We roll on the back to 240 there. Basically, it's the same story. Very little revenue coming in, expenditures. See that large expenditure for supplies, startup food costs. It's really big. We've already talked about how that would hit us hard. So then, and as Mr. Robbins said, the auditor will come Monday and Tuesday. When he exits on Tuesday, we'll know like where we settle up on the cafeteria, all those things. We'll know exactly where we are. The same for $5.99 debt service. And any, well, very little activity in that account, but we'll also know our fund balance, our exact fund balance in debt service, so we'll be able to project more. Can we reach out and get a payoff for the bond for December? Any questions for me? Mr. Martin said we just all had our hair on fire pretty much because we tried to close the year and then all of a sudden we gotta pull all these documents together. But
TEA is changing, like used to, you have projections and they base your payment on your projections. And then like, we just got our near final for this past year, this past week. And then they have this huge sell up. Well, they're moving away from that because we submit data every night. And so starting in the spring, they're gonna start doing it after the 4 to 6 weeks. They're gonna start changing basically your payment based off of your ADA that's current. So if they paid you too much, they're gonna cut your payments. If they haven't paid you enough, they're gonna up your payments. So that way there's not this huge settle up one way or the other. And so then by the next school year, they're gonna do it every 6 weeks. They'll adjust your payments every 6 weeks, depending on where your ADA is. They're trying to to move forward with that. We'll see how that works.
Keith makes a motion. Julie second, all in favor, 7-0. Discuss and take appropriate action on resolution to declare a good cause exception for HB 3 armed security officer requirement.
Okay, so we had to do this, a couple of years ago, but with the new legislation, you have to do this every year if you're claiming the exception. And as you guys know, we have defenders on campus that's confidential. Nobody knows who the defenders are. And we have George, our police chief, and so that way we have people, that are available. So we have George isn't here, we still have an armed security personnel on campus. And basically, it's just, this gives us the exception so that it's not our police chief, or police officer, that's our armed security person. It allows our defenders to be that armed security person when he's on campus. So they just changed it where now we have to approve this every year if we're still in this.
Scott makes a motion. Wendy second, all in favor, 7-0. Executive session. No. Personnel report. Norm. Jared. Will, all in favor, 7-0 at 6:16.
You can push stop, that's ridiculous.